I first met Kate when my toddler was 2, Joshua, and I had a newborn baby, Sam. We had experienced trouble with Joshua sleeping throughout my pregnancy with Sam. I hoped it was a thing that would pass, but unfortunately continued. So I found myself in a position with a newborn baby who was up 2 to 3 times a night, and a toddler who slept the night but decided that morning time was 5 a.m. every morning. So turned absolutely exhausted. I got Kate's number from a friend, and if I'm honest, it took me about 2 weeks to ring her because I felt a failure, that I needed to get help. I thought, being the eldest of 6 children, that having seen my mother rear us and not get any help, that I should have also had that ability. So there was a certain element of pride, if I'm honest, that stopped me from phoning Kate. It was the best decision I ever made. Kate came round, spent time with us, with Joshua, really understood him very quickly, the type of child he was, and ironically, 4 years later, stuff she told me back then is now materialising on Joshua's behaviour and his types of friends he makes, the way he plays. So she clearly had a really good understanding of him from the outset, which built our confidence really. Kate worked with us to change Joshua's routine. She worked with us to be more disciplined with him, gave us certain strategies for coping when things got really hard. So for example, one night she correctly predicted that at 5 a.m. he would wake and that we would just have to keep putting him back into his room. And she predicted that he would probably get out of his room about 35 times, and actually she was out by 33 times one morning we put him back into his room. And I remember thinking at this stage, this is just not going to work. Kate had said it would take about 3 nights to crack it. I thought, no chance in hell, this has been going on for 18 months. And true to her word, within 3 nights he was sleeping 12 hours straight, and we used maybe about 4 hours of Kate's time over those 3 days. So she came and sat with us for about an hour each evening, and then we worked with her over the phone for about 10 minutes each day over that period of time. I can honestly say it's the best investment I've ever made in my son, and I still use some of those strategies today. He's a lovely child. He sleeps great, and certain times when the clocks change I do get a bit tetchy, thinking we're going to revert back to his previous ways, but thankfully that hasn't occurred. And where he has woken early, we just go back to the same strategies of putting him back to bed, not engaging with him, and thankfully it's worked, and he's tucked up in bed right now, fast asleep, and I'm not expecting to see him till 7 o'clock tomorrow morning.